Ever since Nicolas Jackson moved on loan from Chelsea to Bayern Munich, a lot of things has been going on, and recently a lot of talk, a lot of secret, a lot of things has come out concerning this loan move, starting from the fact that um one of Bayern's top official has come out to say it clearly that Nicolas Jackson's loan move can never be made permanent, to the fact that Nicolas Jackson had to pay €3 million to make up for the €16.5 million Bayern Munich paid Chelsea for this as the loan fee. So now let's sit down and dissect this matter critically. Let's start from the fact that from Bayern Munich's um top official saying that the loan deal of Nicolas Jackson can never be made permanent, and the reason is because they said that for this obligation to buy, for them to trigger it, Jackson has to start at least 40 games for Bayern Munich this season, and according to them, they say it can never happen. There is no way, which means they can decide even if Jackson scores 100 goals in a single game, they can decide to bench him for the next 10 games. It solely depends on them, and they are not looking to give him that 40 start. That's what the man is saying. And come to think of it, um Jackson, we all know, is not going to be the main striker because there's Hurricane there, and last season Hurricane was the main striker and he only started 42 games for Bayern Munich in all competition, you see. So realistically, it's never going to be possible for Jackson to start 40 games for Bayern Munich when he is not even the main striker. You get it now. And don't forget, these 40 games that we are talking about, they said that the DFB Pokal games is not going to be included. So what we are looking at right now is just the Champions League and the Bundesliga games. And if you combine these two games, that's, let's say Bayern Munich goes on to reach the final of the UEFA Champions League this season, it's not up to 50 games if you combine the two tournaments together. So when you are not the main striker, how on earth do you expect to get up to 40 starts when Hurricane is not even injured? And that may be his only saving grace. That's if Hurricane gets injured. And even if Hurricane gets injured, based on the fact that Bayern Munich has decided that there is no way they are going to start make Jackson's move a permanent one, they can decide to bench him and bring in another person. And second, the DFB Pokal games not being included in this 40 start means that they are only just going to be using Jackson for DFB Pokal games more. I don't see him starting any major tournament games for Bayern this season. That is what I'm thinking of. Now, let's talk about him not about him paying €3 million to make up for the €16.5 million that Bayern paid as the loan fee. Like, I don't really get who advised Jackson to accept this kind of condition. See, I understand he was desperate and he just wanted to leave Chelsea at all costs, and that was what Bayern saw, and they decided to take advantage of this. I don't know, like, if clubs are discussing a loan move and the fee for the, I don't think it shouldn't concern the players now. And like, how on earth did they bring Jackson into this matter? I'm suspecting it was during the second renegotiation, and this was the reason why they had a renegotiation with Chelsea. And I'm suspecting it was when Jackson was in Munich and Chelsea was telling him to come back when the lab got injured and he was refusing to come back. You know, on the news that time, we were hearing that Bayern and Jackson are working and seeing how the move can still proceed. I guess this was where they played this game on Jackson. This was where they took advantage of his desperation. I'm just saying though, like that's what I'm thinking, because I don't know why a club, two clubs will be discussing about a loan fee and the player is now being thrown into the equation. Like, how? The thing dey confuse me. So Jackson agreeing to pay €3 million just to move on loan to Bayern is something like, I don't know if he was in his right senses when you already know the condition of this loan for it to be permanent, that you have to start 40 games. You as a footballer that you are supposed to have calculated this thing and say, I am not the main striker. If this thing is only for the Champions League and Bundesliga games, you are already supposed to know like how many you are already supposed to know like how many games in maximum that Bayern is going to play in both Champions League and Bundesliga. Then use it to like weigh yourself as a backup striker, and then Harry Kane that is the main striker. If you start 40 games, oh, you were thinking that they are going to be playing both you and Harry Kane at the same time. It's not possible. It's not possible. So like Jackson agreeing this to pay €3 million when you know fully well that this deal is a 50-50 something, that Bayern can decide never to give you up to 40 starts in this season. Then like Jackson, in as much as I'm like mad at him for all his trash talks about Chelsea and I still feel like wetin make Jackson go accept this kind thing, like to pay 3 million just for you to move on loan, and now the people are saying that there is no way you are going to, there's no way you are going to meet that criteria of them making your deal a permanent one. You see, I feel like they just used Jackson. They just see say this guy don dey desperate, they just take advantage just to use and dump him. And see, let's be realistic, all these things that is happening like this, all this plenty controversy, plenty talk, na my man career dey go oo. See am, na career dey go, na Jackson career dey go. After here now, where else do you think Jackson will find himself after this loan at Bayern? Because they have said it clear that they are not going to make the loan deal permanent, and he will be returning to Chelsea after the loan. So where do you see Jackson after this? What do you think? What is the way forward for Jackson after this? And do you think him agreeing to pay €3 million as part of this loan fee, was it a wise decision from Jackson? For me, I think the most stupid part of this whole deal was Jackson agreeing to pay €3 million when you know realistically that it's never, like, it's like it's a miracle for you to get 40 starts for Bayern when you are not the main striker, and then you are going to pay €3 million. See, Jackson was not willing to sit on the bench at Chelsea, and then you are paying €3 million to go and still sit at the bench in Bayern Munich. Doesn't make sense now. You would have just left, forgot about the loan move, just sit down for bench for Chelsea if they play you. See, Jackson should have just accepted that opportunity when the lab got injured to come back. See, I still believe up till today that that would have been the best option for Jackson. He would have had the opportunity to redeem himself. What he's hoping that he's going to do at Bayern Munich now was what he would have had the clear opportunity to do at Chelsea, and it will favour him, because if he performs well like he's claiming to do now in Bayern Munich, the lab might sit on the bench for him whenever he comes back. For me, I feel like Jackson has missed it. He has missed it.